Suddenly, it recalled Louis' mysterious disappearance, making Ellis suspicious. Could Louis be the mysterious killer he was searching for? But the truth wasn't simple. The next day, while at work, Ellis heard a ruckus outside, and when she peered out, she saw Louis being a total jerk, harassing her. Ellis followed the noise straight into the woods, but along the way, Louis was playing hide and seek like a pro. Just when Ellis was puzzled, Louis made a surprise entrance from behind, giving her a heart-stopping scare. When Ellis woke, she found herself a VIP in a mental hospital, limbs tied. Just as she was about to process what happened, the head doctor popped in to drop a bomb. When they found her, she was out cold next to Louis' corpse. In other words, Ellis was the killer, which is why she was tied up. As reality dawned, her face screamed, "What just happened?" Lost in the fog of her memories, all she recalled was Louis trying to attack her. If anyone killed him, it wasn't her. She wasn't even aware that Louis had checked out early. There must be a whole lot of hidden truth behind this. She begged the supervisor to unbind her. "I have the truth." But though the supervisor believed she wasn't the killer, they couldn't release her without proof. Just then, the director swooped in like a superhero. Turns out he returned early. Ellis thought about giving him a medal. After sending the supervisor away, the director freed Ellis, having masterminded it before the investigation. However, what blew Ellis' mind was the director outright denying any collaboration, totally unfathomable. At this point, Ellis was completely flabbergasted, unsure of what trick the director was up to. Urgent to prove she was terrified, she insisted on contacting her employer, not to be locked up in this crazy house forever. But to her horror, the director coldly said no outside calls, and Ellis' condition was worsening. She had to enjoy this extended stay, and just like that, Ellis realized something was fishy and jumped to alertness. She quickly knocked the director down and tried to escape, but alas, was soon caught again. The director approached, ready to inject Ellis, who instantly turned into a sleepy princess. When she woke up again, she found herself a regular guest in a holding cell. Just then, Dr. Montes walked in, grilling Ellis about her escape and purpose here. Turns out she had been exposed. Turns out Montes discovered Ellis' investigation clues in her previous room, and without hesitation, Ellis spilled the truth to her. She was eager for Montes to assist her in leaving. However, Montes responded that only the medical board could determine her departure or stay after confirming whether she suffered from a mental illness. Unless Ellis gave her a reasonable excuse to convene a meeting, there was a chance she'd be released. Ellis informed everyone that she had merely infiltrated for the case she needed to leave, but the director was having none of it. They were ordered by Ellis' husband and doctor to keep her for treatment, with legal papers. However, Ellis sternly countered the forgery claim, including her tale of her husband trying to poison her. All that was just a play to dig into the truth, and the director was one of the cast members. Faced with Ellis' accusations, the director stubbornly denied everything, while Ellis recalled the scene of the crime. It all began when her husband met the deceased Dr. Dell at the party. With her husband's help, Dr. Dell asked Ellis to probe her son's suicide. It was a conspiracy. Dr. Dell believed his son didn't genuinely intend to check out and was convinced something was off. Later, Dr. Dell got a mysterious letter saying the killer wasn't reckless but himself. Dr. Dell's suspicions grew, but police deemed it suicide, dismissing his claims. When Ellis took over with her superpowers, she quickly deduced that the letter's author had serious mental. Even more coincidentally, the letter's return address was just a hop away from the mental hospital. What a strong hint. Thus, Ellis figured the killer had to be inside the mental hospital, but sadly, she lacked solid evidence. To uncover the hidden truth, Ellis had no choice but to infiltrate the hospital with the director's help. She shared her plan with Dell, and to her surprise, he was chummy with the director, agreeing to help her without a second thought. But there was a catch. Ellis had to keep it all hush-hush. What a secret mission. Under the director's guidance, Ellis practiced daily on how to impersonate a mental patient. Once everything was ready, she persuaded a doctor to help her get a diagnosis. Armed with that, Ellis followed the doctor's recommendation and successfully infiltrated the mental hospital. She even claimed her correspondence with the director was intact, ready to prove her words. However, the director cut her off mercilessly. Observing the director's animated reaction combined with Ellis' sharp logic, one could argue she didn't really have a mental illness. After the first meeting, the opinions diverged, with some starting to believe that Ellis might indeed be sane. However, the director insisted that Ellis was submerged in her self-fantasy, a delightful yet painful illusion. She believed Ellis' harm to Louis threatened others, insisting on confinement. After all this chaos, Ellis couldn't accept this fate, as if her life had turned into a horror movie.